Okay, after start page and interface, the next class is about preferences, right? So Premiere Pro preferences, where we have to find those. So from edit, there is a preferences. So click here, the preferences are showing here. Okay, for any software, whether it is a Photoshop or Illustrator, software has some preferences. The priorities, you can change any required time. Okay, let us check the first general. So in this general, the start page. So when I open my Adobe Premiere Pro software, so always it is showing a home page, right? Start. So if you don't want to see again, then you can change this to open most recent. So this means what? The recent work it shows always. But right now I am not changing anything. Keep this as it is. Okay. And this is what when open a project, show open dialog. Okay, show home, this also keep the same. So in defaults, no need to actually change. Okay, when you open bins and anything, so you can double click on that, so automatically open a new tab, or otherwise open in a place or in a new window. So keep this as it is. Just I am explaining, so that is your choice. You want to change this, otherwise keep this as it is. And these are the projects. So double click, open a new project in a new tab. So you can double click this one, or otherwise keep this as it is, right? So plus Alt, so open in a new window or open in a new tab. This also keep this as it is, and mostly don't change these settings. Whenever the requirement is there, so then only you can change, otherwise it can affect your performance in settings. Then appearance, see present it is in darkest appearance, change this to dark, and this is light. Okay, so keep this in darkest only, or otherwise accessible color contrast. So it is showing in a contrast. I am not changing this also. These are the audio related preferences, right? So this will I'll explain at the right time, because when you work with the audios, then only practically will understand about all these things. See, by time being, keep this as daily, and audio hardware also you can keep this. And auto saving, automatically save every 5 minutes. Okay, so in default it is showing in tick mark, and every 5 minutes, or otherwise 15 minutes or 20 minutes you can change this. But don't forget, this will affect your performance, right? So every time, every 5 minutes, it is automatically saving files, right? So maximum project versions, asking to allow 20 versions of projects, maximum project versions. So you can change this, or otherwise keep this as daily. I am not changing this also. Auto save also saves the current projects, right? So auto saving also you can keep this one, or otherwise keep this as daily. Team project, changes are saved in the background as you work, right? So suppose here my projects are saving in this, right? Otherwise if you want to give location, you can give the location also here. This is collaboration, unshared team project changes. Here it is what share, remember, every 2 hours. So when closing the team project, right? So it is giving the warning when closing the team project. Now suppose here sometimes what we are working with a team projects. Okay, so there that will gives you the alarm or warn. So warning, that is suppose your project is closing and just about to close. This will give you, and share reminder every 2 hours or otherwise 3 hours. You can keep this. And suppose here enable project logging. Sometimes what, if you switch on this one, is asking the username. Sometimes when you are working with the team projects, someone is working other side at the same time, you also working other side on the same project, and you are changing the project, any specifications or any changes in that particular project. At the same time, the other person want to change the same thing or other anything. So this will give the alarm, right? So if you want to give the enable, you can give, or otherwise simply off that. And color, display color management and extended dynamic range monitoring. So keep this as it is, no need to change. And this is device class, this also don't change. And this graphics, now see ligatures, Hindi digits and smart codes. So give this as it is, default paragraph direction left to right. Suppose when you are typing, so this will allow you to type left to right or right to left. So no need to change. And the stroke line join, the meter join, or otherwise a rounded join, okay. And change the meter limits, and butt cap, rounded cap or butt cap or square cap, the closed one, right? So this will mostly affect to the text. Okay, I'll explain all when we work with the text and all. And the background fills, all lines per line. So keep this as it is. And suppose missing font replacement with Aradhana is a default, it is showing. If you want to change this to any font, you can change this. Default emoji font, this is the font, emoji font. And here it is stroke line join, so it is a meter join, and the stroke line cap, it's a butt cap. And here also you can change this if you want, right? So right now I'm not changing anything. And the labels are what, it's indicators, like indicating, suppose here the rose color and the violet color and the Irish, Caribbean color, what these are all. Suppose I'll explain here. Suppose here, see, it is a bin, right? So here a bin, the bin color, it is showing in some red color, right? So right click here and the label, and it is in, suppose this color, the magenta color or rose color. If you want to change this to any other color, say to other color, so violet color, so it is changing, right? The bin color is changing. So those are all what, labels or symbols. You can change this to any time, right? So control Z and come to again. Yeah, those are the labels. Anytime you can change and reset to a normal, right? Okay. And media. So so these are the files, the time code, about the time code, and media time base, and default media scaling. So keep this as it is, and no need to change all these things. And refresh growing files every 16 seconds. So keep this. And media cache files, this is important. Sometimes what, Adobe Premiere Pro, mostly they create the temporary files. When you open any website or any files, automatically Premiere Pro can save as a temporary files. Okay, so if you don't want, you can delete the temporary files, remove media cache files. Okay, so because if you don't remove all these files, right, definitely this will give the effect on the performance of the Premiere Pro. Okay, the sketch files are really not necessary for you, then only you can remove these cache files, right? Automatically delete cache files older than 90 days. So if you give the permission, it takes automatically. Don't delete cache files automatically. This is preferable. Keep this as daily, right? Rather automatically delete older cache files when cache exceed 34 GB, right? So don't give this. So always keep this. Don't delete cache files automatically, right? Okay, and this is a memory. Suppose right now my installed memory is 16 GB, right? So RAM reserved for other applications 5 GB. Okay, present my Premiere Pro is using 11 GB, right? If you want to add or less this one, if you increase this one, suppose more, so it takes, and otherwise you can reduce this also. So I'm keeping this as easily in default. Okay, and this is a playback. Okay, keep this also as easily, and this is the timeline. So video transition default duration, they're showing all the settings, so keep this, no need to change. Okay, and there is a large trim offset to 5 frames, so it's 100 audio time units, so keep this also as easily. Transcription, automatically transcribe the clips. Okay, keep this as easily. So these are actually preferences. Why I'm explaining now, you have to understand few things really necessary, then you can change. Otherwise no need to change all these things. Keep this the default of preferences setting. Whenever the requirement is there, when you are working, so there the requirement is there, definitely will change all these things. So these are the simple preferences for the Premiere Pro.